Okay. Oh. The camera's managed to point itself completely down at the floor. That's really helpful. So, good news, Steam lovers, there will be some Steam tonight. In fact, there is some Steam sat right here. But yes, a short stream. I'm thinking about finishing about 10:30, okay? But a short stream with short trains. Now this one's one of our longer ones tonight, a 4-car unit, but it was already on the track, so I thought, you know, why not? But we'll go on a bit longer if we don't get them all in. I want to try and get all of these in. So we've got a variety of trains. We have, if I can turn the camera around a minute, you might get a horrible crotch shot. Warning. So, hello. Right, I kneel down. So we do have steam engine. That's the one on there already. So we have the Tomix JR Diesel Train Series Kiha 58 in Seaside Liner livery there. That's one. We have the Tomix Kyoto Tango Railway type KTR 8000 Tango no Umi. There. We have C1246 and 2 suburban coaches. We have a 3-car unit, which is Kato 6000 series units plus the Gulls and Panzer special unit there. We have the very troublesome 521 series unit from Kato. This is my second one of these, and this is, I have to say, it works. You will see it go around a few times. This will be our shortest on the track because as soon as it starts making that noise, it comes off. This has to be, I think, the worst Kato model I've ever owned. The 521 series. There's something wrong with them. I've had this is my second one, but the supplier I got it from had literally had no more in it after he swapped my first one for this one, which is different livery to the one I had before. He very kindly swapped them over. He had no more. So if I sent this one back, it would have been a refund and I wouldn't have one. But I'd rather have one and potentially fix it in the future than not have one. So there's that one. There's the Kato 701 1000 series in Morioka colour, which is beautiful purple stripe down it. Lot of units again, but hey. And something actually equally as old as the steam engines, well not quite as equally as old, but hey, almost as old, is the Microwace Kiha 07, which is my gasoline powered, petrol powered 2-car unit. So yes, I hope you enjoy that. We do have, I don't have a brake fan down here. I think I'm going to get a brake fan whilst running one of the other trains. If you'd like me to run a short freight, I do have a short freight we can run as well. But yes, apart from that, I hope you enjoy, and we'll spin you around again. Don't need to see me anymore. Oh, that's timing. And the quality on that camera is just so much better, isn't it? Right, yes, so that's that. So I see someone watching. Hello, or konbawa. Get used to saying it in Japanese rather than English, I suppose. Good practice, you see, good practice. For me, that is. Right. And I'll tell you what, we'll even run SL Yamaguchi because that's quite a short service really for the size of the D51. It's been a while since we've seen D51 200 run. It's been C57 one a lot with the SL Yamaguchi in it. Right. We'll finish with SL Yamaguchi. So we'll take this one off. We'll get underway, and I think the first one on is going to be that noisy one. Okay, so here it is. So I didn't think that was on the track properly. There we are. So, you can already hear it's buzzing way louder. So this is the 521 series. Now you can see, the controller's over there, next near the railer. I'm well away from it. As you can hear, it's quite noisy, this one. Now I'll bring it to a stop and spin it around the other way twice. And just so you can see the tail lights as well. That's once. Twice. So yeah, there's the 521 series. Say that it's quite possibly the worst, consistently the worst actual release from Kato I've experienced. By way of difference, here is the C12. C1246, short mixed train. It's a shame about the 521 because it's a lovely train. Very nice colouring, the blue's lovely on it, the silver's really nicely executed. The lighting effects are wonderful. It's every bit a fantastic Kato model, save for that irritating sound. I mean, this one's still doing better than the first iteration, which actually was depositing parts of itself around the track. A little bit of plastic appearing on the track. I'll put this over here in the pile of done, so I know which ones I've got to choose from, which ones I've done. Avatar, just into our first 5 minutes, so I'll let this one run around for a little bit. So the track in the middle where you can see the other freight car standing and the other locomotive standing and everything, that is a track plan I'm playing with at the minute. In preparation for a proper layout for my steam era equipment, because as I've said, the big one's going to be modern day, and this one's going to be steam era, for the benefit of steam era equipment. Because sadly, I'm going to have to retire the Happiness Railway to being a display board. You know, set trains up, take pictures of it, photo board type thing. It's served its time, but it's some of the points aren't working properly anymore on it. And the cleanup is a nightmare. So for those of you who aren't on Discord or on Facebook, I did go through these things on both there. Basically, the cleanup, I have not known anything like it. It can be mid-session and I have to thoroughly clean the layout again. And we're talking after about an hour's use, I have to clean the whole track work again. And it's not just, I mean, this track, you've seen it in use. Now, it hasn't moved, this track hasn't moved since Saturday. Since that stream of Saturday, right? I haven't cleaned it in that time. It had some trains run on it on Sunday, but it hasn't. This is the first time it's been used today. Hasn't been cleaned. Right, a variety of different stock running on it, all sorts. I would not go away with that on the happiness line. If I wanted to grow it now, I'd need to get the cotton buds and the IPA, and I'd need to give it a thorough cleaning, which would take a good half hour, if not longer. So, yeah, rather than scrap it, I'm going to relegate it to being a display board, because it's still useful for that. And it's nice to keep the work as well. A lot of time and effort went into that, a lot of money went into the snow effect. But I'm deducing that both my problems have been caused by said snow texture paint. I think over time it shrunk. And because I use a rigid base track like this, like the Kato track is basically what it is. And it's exactly what it is. Because I use that, I feel it's probably, at the point, it's probably twisted them at a base level and just popped the connection for the motor, the pin that goes into the motor slides backwards and forwards to operate. It's popped that out, so no longer get in contact with that. Because we know the motor's fine because the frog polarity changes correctly on the other bit, on the frog. So that works alright. It's just the actual blades don't fire properly. And that is really getting irritating. But I also think it's something to do with that snow texture paint that attracts dirt. So, because Sakura Denture went into storage in a container, a shipping container, or an old shipping container. Saying old, it's just basically no longer used as a shipping container, now it's used as a storage place. It sat in there for a good couple of months at least, 2-3 months, and maybe a bit longer. When it came back here, I gave it a quick wipe with the track rubber. That was it. Boom. Fine. Very occasionally needed a clean. That's all it got. That had scenery. That had the Kato track glued down. We initially had one point that didn't work, but Oak Hill suggested the remedy for that, and that fixed it. So there we are. That all works. So yeah, there's definitely something going on with this, the happiness line. So it needs to be retired. But looking forwards, and this will just be the new happiness line. The name's not dying. This is just gonna, become that. Differences? Okay, using a bigger baseboard this time. I've got a bigger baseboard ordered. Still for scale model scenery. It's a bigger setup. Number one, that's one of the key things. It's a bit more room to play with, while still being semi-manageable. Number two, I'm going for Tomix track. With Tomix, you get slightly sharp. You can get slightly more gentle but tighter. Does that make sense? Like they're not tight radius. They're just more close in point work, and they do a 3-way turnout. That 3-way turnout down there though, I have damaged. I need to get a new one to replace this one. I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure I don't actually. I will try. I might try it at some point. Anyway, by the by, it's in a state where I can actually get to the internals and fix it. Whereas if I tried to do that on the happiness line, just in case you're wondering, I'd have to pull up the track, which means pulling up the texture paint, which means pulling up an awful lot of crap, and I'd end up having to rebuild the layout anyway entirely. I'm never doing a snow layout again unless I get a more viable alternative to snow than that which I'm as happy with, because the effect it gives me is still one of the best I think I'll ever see. So yeah, this one, I'm thinking about spring for this one. Spring or autumn, one of those two. Depends what trees I can get, or probably make my own trees, so I go make my own trees and that sort of thing. But yes, so obviously, and not obviously, but again, this will be 1950s. Post-war, 5 years after the war's ended, keeps it away from that stuff, and yeah, 1950s. So yeah, I won't ask you questions because unless it's telling me a fear permanently, and there's one person watching. But and I'm grateful. Thank you for joining us. But yes. So that's the thing there. Now I say all this, but there is a potential that may not happen either. Or it may not happen for a while yet because one, as I say, I've got to roll that new turnout potentially, and two, the fiddle yard, it will need a new fiddle yard, or staging yard as the Americans call it. I'd prefer staging yard actually than fiddle yard. But it's the current one will be too small. It's suited the Happiness line when trains could be shorter. But this one, it feels bigger. It's actually about the same size in some respects, width-wise. It just feels a bit more substantial, a bit more D51 friendly. So it's going to need a new fiddle yard of at least equal size. Not friendly to set up here. It's going to need legs of its own. It's going to need all sorts. It's going to probably be an exhibition layout more permanently. I mean, because I'm not worried. As far as it comes to here, running my Engage Steam collection, that's what the big layout's for. I can run it on there. I can run a train like this on there. No problem. So no real rush. It's just nice to be thinking about it. So potentially, and this is just another flip side, potentially that could become an Ingle Nook double Ingle Nook shunting puzzle, which is fine by me because that gives me a dedicated layout for my UK stuff to run on. So yeah. Yes, it won't be capable of taking A23, but it will be capable of, running the industrials, which is what it's all about. Right, we're on time. 10-2. Okay, so almost. Right, we'll come up to date then. I watched The Cat Returns again last night, which is my first Ghibli film since the awfully sad one I watched on Saturday. And yeah, that was good. It's one of my favourites, The Cat Returns, and Haru is amazing. I think she's a really good character. And I love the end music. Well, music all the way through is absolutely amazing. And who doesn't love the Baron and Muta, or Muta, or Muta, if you want to call him a fat cow. Learning all the important Japanese words, you see. So next up is the Tomix Kyoto Tango Railway Type KTR 8000 Tango no Umi. This is a Tomix model. So the nice thing about this is it's trains that I wouldn't necessarily have brought out for a stream normally because they are so short. You know, it's not a. There's nothing against them. It's just, you know, they are incredibly short trains, and when it's a big long stream, it doesn't always feel worthwhile getting them out. So, you know, it gives us an opportunity to see some of these shorter trains running. You get to see some other parts of my collection that don't often come onto streams very often. So this train runs from Kyoto, as the name suggests. And in fact, if you go onto YouTube and you search for the Kyoto Tango, that should do it. If you search for Kyoto Tango driver's view or something like that, you know, put that bit in as well, then you'll actually get the full journey of this train from Kyoto out to its destination. It's a wonderful trip, lovely trip. It's in 4K as well, actually. It's all in 4K. This is one of those, I saw it and I had to have it. It was, the metallic blue is really gorgeous on it. The gold lettering and everything just all worked really nicely. And the blue is slightly lighter than one of the other trains you'll see, the Seaside Liner, which also has that blue and gold theme. But yeah, there's just something about this, and the fact that, you know, the 4 headlights at the front for such a small train, it's got quite a ostentatious front almost for such a small commuter train. Though it did seem to run in a 4-car set in the video that I mentioned previously. Got what's all in my head now from the Cat Returns. So an update on the pre-orders I'm expecting. This month I was expecting 4 deliveries for orders to come in, which was the a baggage train set, something different. I think I've got the locomotive to go with that as well already. The one said the locomotive to go. The one that's on the picture they're using, the photograph they're using to show the real one. The excursion set the DD51 and the D51, D51 498. Well, looking on Hobby Search, because bless his heart, Train Tracks says due February. Also, we're past February, but apparently the DD51 and one of the coach sets has been released. The other two are slated for late March, so by the time they get here on the slow boat, I say slow boat, it's it's the way they're handling the unloading them, isn't it? I understand the need to prioritise. You don't want things going off or whatever, food going to waste because it's not been brought into port in time. So yeah, there's by the time it's coming, it'll probably be mid-April, maybe, if I'm lucky. And I say, I don't know. Again, I'm not. It's not an essential. They'll get here when they get here. That's how I've always been about my mail orders. It's very easy to get panicked and worked up over things, but I haven't actually handed over any cash for these yet, so they'll, I've got nothing to lose really at the minute, apart from not having the models I'd like, maybe. So yes, and I understand that Keith at Train Tracks has got no more control over that than I have. So there's no point bothering him either. There's no sense him contacting me to tell me this because, But yes, so DD51 and I believe it's the baggage train set that's due first. So we'll keep an eye out for them. I have started mobilising selling off my 00 stuff that I don't want. So check Twitter first. Crabapple Colliery Model Railway. If you look for that, you should find me. First up is a Hornby Battle of Britain. Rebuilt Battle of Britain. So do go and check that out, or let me know in the comments below this video if you're interested. I can let you know the price and everything via there. It's free postage, or postage included if you like more. Anywhere in the UK. If you're outside the UK, we're going to have to talk on how much it will cost to pay, because sending to the States can get pretty expensive very quickly. I sent a few bits to Dale, and it was nearly 50 quid in shipping. So, the other thing I'm moving on is my bomber, 60 scale bomber aircraft, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a hell of a lot of kits I'm going to get rid of now. Until I've got shelving, I can't do any model making anyway, which doesn't help. But I've got too many. I have got too many. It's not really where my heart is these days. People change. Sometimes for the best, sometimes for the worst. And the situation in Ukraine and it was bad enough when it was in Afghanistan and Iraq, but that was too far for my time little mind to comprehend properly. It's nothing to do with the people at all. I empathise with all human beings across the planet who are suffering. I not empathise. I don't want to pity them because that seems condescending. But you know what I mean. I care. I do care. But that plus the film I watched Saturday, I'm really turned off from my military stuff. Now I'll still play World of Warships. I'll still play maybe War Thunder or War of the Tanks, depends on which. Probably War of the Tanks, maybe a bit more, because it is literally based on what Guns and Panzer is based on. I don't know yet. Either one will work, but only in the realms of it being like Guns and Panzer, where the worst that happens is a flag pops up out the tank. Just say it's out, because it's a game. It lets you enjoy things without the nastiness of war. So yes, yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff now. This doesn't mean I'm not interested anymore. I still love the Mosquito, but the Mosquito did so much more. I focus now on the Mosquito attacking the Gestapo headquarters. Okay, Amiens prison wasn't a hugely successful, but the Amiens prison raid did a lot more than just bomb cities, basically, you know. And the work that Mosquitoes did to help accurate bombing. But yeah. But things like Lancasters, Sterlings, Halifaxes, B-17s, B-29s, B-24s. I just can't anymore. Wellingtons, Hamdens. Beauforts are alright. Beaufighters are okay. Fighter planes, to a degree, that's alright. But yes. But yeah, but basically overall moving away from a lot of that. I'm not sure. I am booked into these 2 shows at Duxford. I'm actually not sure where I'm going to go to those now. So I might return my tickets so someone else may have use of them. And I believe in fairness that way. I mean, it's not cost me anything, I could just not go, but that's not fair on someone. There might be a party of 2 and there's only 1 ticket left, but if I give mine back, there are 2 now. And the party of 2 can go together and enjoy the day out. But, yeah. People change. Tastes change. Sometimes you can go from loving chocolate cake to some people just go, they hate chocolate the next day. Can't stand it. So yeah. Good evening, Thomas. Welcome. Sorry, you come mid me soul searching almost. Welcome, and don't apologise for missing streams. We all busy. I mean, I was meant to do one like the week before, but you know, life came in the way. I'm doing all right, thank you. I'm discovering a lot more about myself during this period of being signed off, which is good ultimately, because I'm learning a lot about myself that can be used to make a positive impact on life. And how are you? In fact, we must change train because we've got a lot of trains to go through and not much time. But yes, so bring the Tango Railway unit in for a stop, and we got lights, yes. Just show you the tail lights on that one. There's the tail lights. Remember, this is DC. This isn't DCC. This is the special cater controllers, or the Tonics proper controller will do it as well. I actually think he looks more realistic on this because they go out entirely first before being sport flavoured, which is what the real ones do, as opposed to what you get on some of the models. Very okay, I'm very good, thank you. Been busy with work. I'll let the train go around. This is it's got a nice name, it's the Kyoto Tango Railway Company, 8000, called the Tango no Umi. Or Yumi. It's Umi, would be Umi, because Yumi would have a Y. I think. Yes, it is. It is a lovely, lovely train. That's part of the reason I saw it. One of the storage trains had to have it for the livery. It was gorgeous. Just looking at what we've got next. I think we'll run the 701 next. But yes, it is a beautiful train. If you go on YouTube searching, and you search for Kyoto Tango, so that's KYOTO, sorry, KYOTO, Tango, spelled like the drink, and put 4K cab ride or driver's view or something like that in, you can actually travel on this train and get the driver's eye view of the entire route. It's quite a beautiful route out of Kyoto, and it's quite it's very interesting watching it change from the city to the countryside. I always think that's a great transition when you get with trains more than cars. Alright, so you can move this one over here. We've got another. So put that on there. We've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 units, and then we're finishing up with the steam train. So basically we're going until I've run them all, or 10:30, whichever comes soonest. But if folks want me to stay a bit longer, I can stay a bit longer. I've got nowhere to be really. As such, but yes. So next one up is the Kato 701 1000 series Morioka colour. So Morioka is the route. Now, this again, I love this one. This is another one I got for the colour, because I'm a big fan of the colour purple. Green's my favourite colour, but I'm a big fan of the colour purple. And this really caught me as quite striking. But yes, because it's a bit of a shorter stream potentially, I thought it was a good time to look at some of the shorter trains in my collection that don't usually come out on big streams, because they're not. It feels a bit of a waste of people's time to show them otherwise. So this one's similar noise to the 521, but it doesn't actually get any more noisy than this. Unlike the 521, which then suddenly ramps up the noise to 16,000 decibels. I'm glad to hear you're okay too as well, sir. There we are. So there will be some more steam, because the Yamaguchi, SO Yamaguchi Express is quite a short train for the size of locomotive pulling it. So it fits the theme still. It's tangible at best, but it's just good to get some more steam in. But yes, I remember you asking me about, I know you were going through over a steam engine. You're asking me about which ones I recommended getting. One I definitely don't recommend getting is this 521. I've had two of these, and this is number 2, and it has the exact same problem number 1 had. Noisy as hell, and there's something definitely wrong with the internals on it. It's not quite doing the full job the first one was doing, which was also depositing bits of its gears around the track. It's the worst Kato model I've ever known, sadly. But yeah. But if I'd sent, as I was saying earlier on, if I'd sent that back, it would have been a refund only. There weren't any more. And Kato do such short runs of things, it seems. But it feels like, anyway. That it wasn't guaranteed like, oh, I could get a refund again, get another one, or Keith could order another one in for me. It was that one, or I don't have one. I've got a 521 at all. And I'd done a bit of research at the time on the class, and I was like, oh, I'm getting into this because it's on its way, and this is going to be really cool. And I had to have one, so I decided not to. I told him there were faults with this one as well, but sorry, I didn't mean to the camera. But as it hadn't started dropping its gearbox around the track, I wasn't going to return it. I was going to just keep it and then one day get it remoted. I think it needs a new motor. That's the thing. It needs a newer motor. But when you consider how many Japanese trains I have, and that's the only one that's fallen over, that's not bad. Okay, it's two of the same, exact same model, just two different liveries. So, had any chance to play trains? They say you've been busy working. Have you had a chance to play trains or anything like that? Do tell us what you've been up to. So, after this one, we'll go back in time to the 1930s, and to my only petrol-powered or gasoline-powered train, which is the Kiha 7 from Micro Ace. And then we'll come back up to the present day with a Seaside Liner, followed by the Series 6000. So is it 6,000? Yeah, 6,000. There's a Girls and Panzer car in it. And then, in a nice mix of old and new, we'll go to SL Yamaguchi with D51-200 hauling. I just got back from the Model Railroad Club, and we are starting to build a new 00 now. Oh, nice! Is it Hush Hush, or are we allowed to know the theme? So, I understand that some clubs, some layouts there, it's sort of like you have to go to the show to see what it's all about the first time they release it all at once, and sometimes it's just another layout in the club's repertoire. There's a bit on there, is that excellent? I will definitely go and check that out then. Yes, I'm quite touched actually. I get retweeted quite a lot by then. So we've got a new layout in design over here. That's this one here. It's going to take a lot of fine tuning. There we are. There's the link for anyone that wants it as well. That's excellent. Thank you for sharing that. That's brilliant. So not quite managed to persuade them into starting a Japanese layout then. I just, of course. They are German and Dutch are engaged, so not Japanese at the moment. Right, well, we are with 3 more to run, so we better swap out this one now. But again, I'll bring it to a stop so you see the tail lights on this one. The next one has no tail lights, so it's just... So there we are, that's the tail lights for you. Okay, so put that back in its box. So now we go back in time to the 30s. And the Micro Race Kiha 7. I think it's amazing how they fit lights. Yes, I think it's incredible the lighting that they fit into Engo trains, especially, yes. And it's the digital. I can't remember if that one's got them, but one of the ones we ran earlier has got a digital display on it, and you think that looks real. It looks amazing. So this is the Kia 7 by Micro Race. And again, talking about the lighting, it's the light in this one, considering it sticks up out the roof. It must be, oh, what do you call it? Fibre optic. I can only assume it's fibre optic inside there. Oh, I've left 2 upstairs. Well, I left another unit upstairs. There is another one to run as well, sorry. I actually forgot about these two actually, there's another two shorties. There is indeed a plan for a bigger Japanese now, yes. So the big one upstairs, which will be in the modern day, set in modern day, but we'll see, it will see steam quite regularly because I've got a lot of steam engines to run on it. But it's just easier for me to model that modern period because I can watch a lot of videos, I can look at photographs, and I can sort of monkey see, monkey do sort of thing, you know, oh that's how that's done, and that's how this is done. The exhibition layout will be steam orientated more permanently, but will include things like this unit we're running now. But yes, I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the channel. I do appreciate that. I would say it's. I do feel a bit bad. It is just okay. I've got a station now on here for you, but it's just trains on the table. There's nothing special, which is why I sort of trying to think about ways I can do themed running sessions, like the short trains tonight. We might have a freight only night one night, or you know, different things going on. Right. So the fact we've added another 2 units, we're going to jump right to modern time now. And I'm going to get it out before I put this one away. And this is a single car, our only single car tonight. This is the Kia 110 by Kato. I do have 3 of these. I've got 2 motorised, 1 non-motorised. This one's, this one's Kato, and the non-motorised one's Kato. And the other motorised one is actually Green Max with wrapping on it, but this is a basic livery. I've seen pictures of these in trains of up to 4 cars long, but single car operation is acceptable. One of the other short ones I have, which it has been seen on streams a lot more, is the Kia 32. It looks like the Shinkansen Series 0. So that one's not going to be joining us tonight because it has been seen a few more times. This is meant to be 4 ones that don't get seen as often. Oh wow, it's going a bit too quick there now. But yes, so there will be a bigger one with scenery, that sort of thing. But yes, give mixed trains run and make too interesting. No clue about Josh. Oh, not a problem. I'm glad it's appreciated. I try my best. I don't know everything. I don't know an awful lot, to be honest with you, but I'll try and pass on what I do know, and you know. I'm just glad it's proving useful for someone. After this, we've got quite an oddball pairing coming up. Looks like two Volkswagen camper buses things on rail wheels, but they're all very much like the German small rail car units. Should go from the 110 to the Kia 10. But it's quite a nice little unit. This it runs well. I've not actually run the Cater one for a while, which again, so I chose to pick this one up as opposed to my Greenmax one, because the Greenmax one with the wrapping on does get seen an awful lot more again intruding because of the wrapping. But this is the basic one. It's attractive enough, very smart looking. They don't, no. Class 66s don't run. They do have a 66 though. It is the EF66, which is the electric freight locomotive. So the way Japanese trains work, and I wish I could remember the number bit now so I could really sound intelligent, but the lettering, we'll start with the lettering. Lettering is nice and simple. For diesels and electrics, the first letter designates what that is. So it's obviously D, diesel, E, electric, quite simple. The next letter is how many driven axles you have. So an EF66, electric, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, 6 driven axles. Yeah, six driven axles. And then the number will denote its speed range. And the 66 will sit, between this number and this number. It should have enough traction effort for the trains at this weight and get into a speed of this much, and that's how that works. But it's not a silly question at all, because yes, as you say, 66s do indeed get everywhere. But so far not to Japan. However, interestingly, EF66s have excuse me, been deployed outside of Japan. The Spanish railways use a version of the EF66 gauge to their railways. Recognisable as an EF66, but with some modifications to design a little bit. But it is still essentially an EF66 underneath, which is pretty cool. I do have an EF66. If you'd like me to go and pop and get it, I will do so. In fact, we'll stop this guy. I'll get the next one on and I'll go and pop and get him, because I've been meaning to bring him down for a while now. So let's slow this down a bit. On the straight, round the corner, steady as it goes. Cross the crossing and smoothly into the station. And again, a demonstration of the headlight to tail light. There. Yes, good to see you running again. Hope you enjoyed your little jaunt out. And now we're back to Tomics. This is the Nanbu Yukon Diesel Robust Type Kiha 10. And the really cool thing is both these are actually motorised. But I will cover them up still because it's more fun. Because they are so dinky. I love the fact you can actually effectively get 2 trains in one with this. Oh. And they do actually have working tail lights as well, these ones. Alright. So I'll pop this one back up now. While you enjoy the Kia 10s in all their funky little weirdness. Right, EF66 in tow. Aren't they fun? I'll pop the pantographs up just so it looks good. Yeah. There we go, just some light on it. So that is an EF66. These two were an eBay spot for me. Yes, the livery is very smart. It's very reminiscent of some British ones, if this was a brighter yellow, I think, but yes. The cab makes me think of a samurai warrior's helmet, to be honest. There's something about that. It's a very Japanese looking engine to me. But yeah, thought they fun, those two. So, I'll do the same thing for these. As I say, we've got another 3 trains to run tonight, so I'll cut these short into the station. Bring them forward so you can see them in focus. And there's the proof that they have working tail lights. and then the proof that they are both powered. See, wasn't a fluke. Aren't they wonderful? They get even less of an outing because they actually sit lower than normal platforms. I need to do some more research into the prototype and see where it ran. Because yes. Okay. So they were quite bright, so we'll go for another dark one again, and then be dark, bright, dark as well. Let's just try and mixing it up a bit. It's just dark in livery terms. So this is the Kia 58 by Atomics in Seaside Liner livery. This also leaves from Kyoto. I believe, does it have Kyoto on it? No. It's Sasebo, Heike, Nu, sorry, who is? N or H, I can't read that. Here we are. Huis, Tenenbosch, Isahaya, and Nagasaki is the final destination on this one. This is one of Dale the Highballing Hogger's favourites. And it's actually quite weird for a Atomics model, in as much as it has more prototype couplings like the Kato ones. So rather than at the end of its run, we'll do it now. Here's the lighting demonstration. So tail lights. Yep, I'll do that. Headlights. I've actually spent the day quite therapeutically, actually, I feel. Let's get some more drink. Quite therapeutically going through my photographs I've saved from the web of various Japanese steam engines, and I've actually every single one I can identify is in a folder for the class, and it's in its own folder for its own number. So, say D51-200, you go into Japan, in my trains folder you go into Japan, Steam, D51, and then D51-200 is every picture I have where I can identify that engine as D51-200 is in there. If there's more than one D51 in there, and I can identify both of them, or all of them, each folder for each number will have a copy of that picture in. So yes, there's a lot of duplication going on, but it means I've got a record now of the 1,115 built, the highest number built of any locomotive in Japan, steam locomotive. I can account for 137 of them, which I'm quite impressed with. No problem. You're very thanks for dropping by. I appreciate you coming along. My next live stream will be Wednesday, and it'll either be here or it will be on Crabapple Comedy, which the channel will be called by then. Depending on what I get done, but most likely it'll be on here. Alright, but thank you for coming along, Thomas. I appreciate it. And thanks, hope you've enjoyed, and thanks for reminding me to bring this guy down, because I've been... It's been sat upstairs for me to bring it down a couple of days now, and I haven't, so thank you. Yes, arigato. Arigato, yes. But yes, thanks for coming along. And take care. And yourself, sir. And yourself. Yeah. Nice unit, that one. This is that liner. Right. In that case, what we'll do is we'll actually end with the Seaside liner. So we're going to go on to the SL Yamaguchi, and the 6000 series hasn't been seen. The 6000 has been seen in past on streams more recently, and so is the Yamaguchi service, even the D200. So I think that's a good place to actually call it there. So we'll bring the train to a stop in the station. Right, I'll try and stand that out of the light. There we are. While I do this. And there we go. So it took quarter of an hour longer, but we had, because also we did have some extras, remember, tonight. So we, at the 110, we had the Kia 10 as well, so yeah. So yes, take care, stay safe, be well, and I will try and end this without nodding the screen too much. No, not working at all, is that one? It's lovely. Yeah. So arigato, sayonara. Again.